You are tuned in to the Coach V Show, bringing you the expert insights and interviews to help you, me, and we become the best we can be. Now here's your host, Coach Viliami Tuivai, Coach V.
Welcome to the Coach V Show, your station for personal and professional development with expert insights and interviews to help you, me, and we become the best we can be. Where iron sharpens iron, together we rise. On Island Block Radio, the pulse of the Pacific, where paradise lives. My name is Viliami Tuivai. I am so excited for this premiere and airing of my first show. I have had the pleasure to be a keynote speaker in over 20 industries with thousands of people over the past decade. I am currently the success coach for 260 restaurants nationwide within the Jack in the Box, Denny's, and Corner Bakery Cafe brands. Starting this year, adding to that list, Popeyes. I've authored the book Life Champion, Life Lessons That Yield Championship Results. I am the founder and president of Invictus Youth Foundation that offers free camps and programs to teach vital life lessons to youth ages 5 to 13 in passion platforms youth love. Since 2013, over 3,000 youth have come through our programs in volleyball, football, soccer, basketball, skiing, snowboarding, and flight school with the Young Eagles program. I'm from the Kingdom Island of Tonga, malolele atu, ke kainga Tonga kotoa pehe mamani ko ni mate matonga. One of 9 children, blended family, oldest of 6. My childhood hometown is Pomona, California. Shout out P-Town. Graduated from Ganesha High School. I attended Rocky Mountain College, Mount Sac, and San Bernardino Valley College before gaining admission at UC Davis. This place changed my life. Starting at outside linebacker for my junior and senior year, graduating in 2002. I was with the Boise State football program for 8 seasons, and I've been a professional speaker and success coach ever since. Married my college sweetheart, Martha, woman of my dreams. We have 2 amazing children, and we reside in the 916 region in the city of Elk Grove. And with this premiere of the Coach V Show, I am humbled and excited to start my journey as a radio show host. Shout out to Q and Joe Sav and the Island Block Radio family. Thank you. Let's jump into it. This is personal and professional development, a show that is hoping to really help you, me, and we, including myself, become the best we can be in life. Available for a limited time only, limit 1 per person. Subject to change without notice, provided as is and without any warranty or guarantee of anything. Life. Non-transferable and is the sole responsibility of the recipient. May incur damages arising from use, misuse, or non-use. Additional parts sold separately. Your mileage may vary, subject to applicable fees and taxes. Terms and conditions apply. And every restriction imaginable can and will be applied if you allow it. But despite all that, it's the one life we get to live. So live it. Life is defined as our condition that distinguishes us from everything else on the planet, including capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity, and development, personal and professional, and change preceding death. At the end of this thing called life, there will be a tombstone with our name, date of birth, a dash radio, baby, and a date of death. Usually underneath that is a saying, here lay, or words to describe the person. For me, on my tombstone, looking at the end as I'm going from here to there, I would like it to read, my tombstone, faith, family, fellowship. he, which is me, live to the full. See, we all know our DOB, our date of birth. None of us know. This is the irony, and one of the great ironies of life, is when our end game is. So then it is the present that we must maximize. That is one of my goals every single day. While you're alive, and this is a quote, one of my quotes, while you're alive, the possibilities are infinite. But remember, life is finite. Live to the full. So as I talk about that and what I would like my tombstone to read, where it would say faith, family, fellowship, and he lived to the full. What does that mean? So here are our 4 points that we'll be covering in this segment that would stir your heart, mind, and soul. Because really, I'm not here on the Coach V show to tell you what it is to do, how it is to be, but really to stir your heart, your mind, and your soul so that you come up with the answers and the solutions to your life and make sure that the direction it is that you are going, that you are a willing participant in that travel. So how do you, me, and we live to the full? First, and this is in no particular order, but just what was common sense to me, how it is that I live and coach and train with the various companies in over 20 industries it is that I've already visited with, multiple industries coming this year in 2019, and then the current clients it is that I currently have. Number one, we're talking about live to the full. Find your gift. Ooh. Some people call it passion. Some people call it purpose. Those are semantics. To you, me, and we, really, I'm going to say it the way it is that I see it as, finding your gift. And then you can word it any way it is that you want, being the author of what it is that you are and what it is that you hope to become. Find your gift is number one. In that, develop your gift. Be the master of your gift, then use your gift in service of others. So that's not only what it is that I teach, but this is what I've experienced. For those of you that heard me before, so many of you have come up to me and said, man, you are just blessed with this gift. You know, some people call it the gift of gab. Some call it the gift of inspiration. And that is not so important to me in terms of the actual definition or what it is that you cite or call it, but really in terms of what I've experienced, I know this, and Scripture says this as well. You know, your gift will make room for you. So to me, it starts first and foremost with ourselves. And this is not a religious or faith thing. It's just a personal development thing. You can faith and believe and have your own religion, but at some place you must be able to find your gift. That thing that which comes most easily to you, that you greatly enjoy to do, and you can never get sick of it. You never get tired of it. Find your gift. This is number one. How do you live to the full? Find your gift. Develop your gift, because everything, even talent or the things it is we want to get better at, needs development, personally and professionally, getting better, making it progress from where it is now, that you're better than you were yesterday and moving forward. So you develop your gift, become the master of your gift. So somewhere out there's these adages and these sayings that you need 10,000 hours to become an expert or a master, and then you need 10 years or so 10,000 hours or 10 years. So, and you need experience, and that you can master your gift. Then use your gift in service of others. And there's a lot of amazing people. And in terms of my field, in terms of orators, a guy that had an amazing gift as an orator, and we all know him, Martin Luther King Jr. Wow, he used his gift. You know, he found his gift, he developed it, and then he used it, right? After he mastered it, to really in service of others. What is that for you? Number two, Prioritize family and friends that are most important to you. Run the race that matters. Don't get caught up in the rat race that doesn't matter. And to me, relationships is huge. Making sure that I have and prioritized my time, because the work-life balance thing, I've never experienced that. I've always had to work like a mofo from the beginning of junior high school, elementary school, digging holes, digging trenches, offloading trucks of bricks. That's what I know. It's like work, right? And what a work-life balance is in terms of 50-50, I know what the premonition or the thoughts of that are, but I have never experienced. But I do know this. I do know priority. I do know making community a priority, your faith a priority, because this is what I've done. It's like I got all these things going on in my life, places to be, but I prioritize. That's what brings balance to my soul, my heart, and my purpose is when I prioritize. So one thing it is that I really make sure that I am all about is prioritizing my family, my children, being there in person, present in the front row for their activities, for their practices even, not just their games. And I know not everybody can do that, but in my profession I can. So if I put it down on the calendar and I prioritize it, then I know that I have allotted myself the time to experience to the full what it is that my kids are going through. Because just like yesterday, my kids were in diapers. Now they're 9 and 7, 4th grade and 1st grade, and it has been a blur. So I prioritize family and friends. So that's number 2. Number 3, write this down as well. Take notes. Live a life of excellence, striving to get better and always doing your best. This is number 3. Live a life of excellence, striving to get better and always doing your best. Doing your best doesn't mean perfect, but just giving your all to the situation, which mainly to me so many times is putting my damn phone down and focusing on what it is that is right in front of my face, whether that's community work, talking to my wife, being with my kids, and then shutting everything else out and going to the radio station, recording the show, writing the books it is that I need to write, having the script ready for these multi-million-dollar companies it is that I'm visiting with to talk to them about how to become excellent and do your best. Is choosing to do so and giving all of yourself, mind, body, and soul to that situation and that circumstance, and then constantly bettering that so that you were better than you were the last time you did it. Learning the lessons and then applying it forward to help you bridge where you are to where it is that you're going. A life of excellence. And then number 4, okay, this is big. The goal is joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love. Success and achievement are the byproducts of that. Give me some of that. Because I've been on some championship teams. I've been able to have crowds stand on their feet with a rousing stand of standing ovation, of rousing applause, to have that success and feel that, right? But then to also not only just win and achieve and hit on your goals, but even more so to have joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love. We're talking about living to the full. What is life without some joy, peace, happiness, and fulfillment and love? Look up the definitions or the opposites of those things: joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love. It is not good. Give me some of that. Of course, I still want the achievement and success, which increases my capacity to do more, to become more, and to achieve more by succeeding, right? But give me some joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love as well. That's living to the full, because success and achievement matter. But I adamantly believe living to the full would afford us all the opportunity to experience joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love. From that, the byproduct is success and achievement, and that's living to the full. Hit me on Facebook, Coach Viliami, and give me your opinions on IG, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And let me know what your thoughts are on living to the full. I'm not here to tell you what to do, think, or be. I'm here to stir your heart, mind, and soul so that you can come up with the answers to your questions and become and achieve all it is that you wish to achieve. We'll be right back after this brief message, talking self-belief and this question: why not you? You're listening to the Coach V Show, the premiere. where iron sharpens iron. Together we rise on Island Block Radio, the pulse of the Pacific, where paradise lives.
Give thanks and praise every day. I will give thanks and praise to the Father. Give thanks and do what you say. I will do as you say. It is time that we are fighting for our rights now, 'cause there's too much corruption.
Welcome back to the Coach V Show on Island Block Radio. We just concluded in the last segment. We were talking about some stuff. Living to the full. And if you're in on that and you're listening to this show, if you're in on living to the full, say win. Say it. Say, I'm in on that. Tell yourself. Program your mind and your heart and your soul to be all about the things that is that you want. Because we tell ourselves the negative so many times. We tell ourselves what we're not. How it is that it's going to be so tough for us to be those things. But tell yourself, living to the full, I'm in on that. Say it. And if you're living to the full, say it. Win. I'm in on that, coach. I am in on that. So welcome back. We are now talking about self-belief. And this first question, because the who, what, where, when, why, how, and why all matter. But here's something that really matters to start off. Well, so where is the starting point? Where do you start? I really feel that it starts with this. And this is what I've experienced, where it is when I told myself, how am I going to be and do all these things? How, be an author, go stand in front of people with no experience and talk about, I'm not a millionaire, I'm not a billionaire. And a lot of those people have an instant platform to get up and talk to people about success, how to better themselves, to chase their dreams, hopes, and aspirations, and to become better it is that they've ever become, and that they can. They will, and they will do and achieve anything it is that they want to achieve. I mean, how do you create a platform like that, right? But this is the question I asked myself. Why not? Why not you? If this is your gift, why not you? Why not you stand in front of people and say, hey, this is what I've experienced, the championships that I've experienced. This is what I've done from being a person that, hey, English isn't my first language. I had to learn it. I'm not a person that comes from prosperity or a silver spoon in my mouth or huge success. And I'm not saying that those guys don't have issues too, because we all know in this life we got some issues we all got to deal with. But my start was not one that usually, you have everything. You can get whatever you want. You've experienced private jets and yachts and boats and all of these vacations. But this is one thing it is that I did have since I was a child. And so many champions in communities and successful people that started with nothing. Because it's still, if you start with something in millions, life is still going to be tough and the challenges are all around us, right? But this is the first question I ask is, why not? Why not me? And this is the ignorance it is that I had. And I grew up in the hood and there was ignorance all around me in the negative. But here's a positive ignorance for you to think about. Right? Because this was my ignorance, is that I believed in myself. And fortunately, from elementary school, I went to Roosevelt Elementary School in Pomona, California. And then I went to John Marshall, junior high school. It's now, I think it's called middle school now. And I went to Ganesha High School. And then fortunately for me, there were teachers and coaches and my parents and pastors that also believed in me, that forged this self-belief in me to ask myself, why not? Why not you? You want to climb Everest? Go ahead. You can. Why not you? It's going to be tough, probably the hardest thing that you've ever done. Yeah, but go do it anyway. Why not you? Why not? Because you are the only one that are going to stop you from doing it. Not anybody else's hate, anybody else's criticism, or your own self-doubt. If you choose to now believe, because we're talking about self-belief, and why not me? Why not you? Where you look yourself in the mirror and say, why not me? And then I look at you and I say, why not you? When you start to have some people around you that you now have and created this self-belief that really it comes from nowhere because you've never quite done it before. We're talking about doing some things you've never done before. You've never lost the weight that you've ever lost. You've never created a radio show, or you never created or wrote your own book. You've never done these things, but you believe that you can do it anyway. You've never had a relationship that actually worked and was functional and it gave you anything that was good, but you still believe anyway. Maybe you have never done anything that was good, but you still believed and you worked for it anyway. Maybe you've never experienced how it is to actually pass an academic class. You've been told that you're stupid, you're dumb, you have no common sense, but yet inside of you, this is where it all starts. Self-belief and telling yourself, why not me? If somebody else can do it, I can too. If they have achieved it, I can too. If no one has even achieved it, I can, I must, I will, then I'll be all it is that I am called to achieve. But first, you must believe. This is the precursor. And know this, I understand that faith and self-belief are nouns, right? That work better as verbs. Because without action, faith, self-belief, love, those things are just words. But I also know this. This is the precursor. That despite the actions and all the things it is that are to come next, if you don't believe, nothing happens. You must first believe. This is how I've experienced anything it is that I've ever done in my life. This is how it is that the championship teams that I have been a part of in my life, man, they believed and then they worked according to that belief, and they put in the action and the strategy and the daily discipline to get after it each and every day. But each and every one of those teams, including everything it is that I've achieved, I first believed. And there's this poem that I use in every single one of my presentations, despite the industry or what their focus is in terms of teamwork or strategy or overcoming adversity that they ask me to speak on, is this. If you think you're beaten, you are. And if you think you dare not, you don't. And if you'd like to win but think you can't, it's almost certain you won't. If you think you lose, you've lost. For out of the world we find, you see, success begins with the person's will. A champion's state of mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. Because you have to think high to rise. You have to be sure of yourself before you could ever win a prize. Because life's battles don't always go to the strongest woman or man. But sooner or later, the one who wins is the one who thinks they can. Repeat this after me. Say this. I can, I must, I will, then I'll be all that I'm called to achieve. Now say self-belief. Now also ask your question, why not me? That's right. Why not you? And then I created this aspect called the Coach V Belief Code. And the Coach V Belief Code says this. I believe in me and what I believe will be. Respect all and fear nothing. I will not be bullied and the bully will not be me. I believe in me and what I believe will be. This is an awesome code, approach to life, and self-belief poem that young and old can recite. Simple, this aspect called belief. Hard to live. So if you don't program yourself, because the negatives pop up all over the place, all these negatives that are within us that tells us, oh, don't do that. Are you crazy? No way. There's no way you could do that. Are you crazy? Do you know how embarrassing this is going to be? We have all of those doubts, but what about a code that we can put up on the mirror? Write it with one of these magic erase markers. Write it on your mirror so you see it every single day that I believe in me. And it doesn't even need to be my code. What's your code that you believe in, that you write down, that you see each and every day when you come to your office at that job that you despise, but there's no way you can quit because you need that job, that you have a code goes, man, I can get through this. I can do this regardless of how bad it is, how I hate the people here. The people hate me too. I can do this. Write down that code. What is the code it is that you believe in that needs to help and govern your life to achieve not only your achievement and success, but also your joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love? To me, the precursor to that is self-belief, that you believe. And Henry Ford says this, whether you think you can or think you can, you're right. And really quickly, here is a short story that I love to talk about to kids as well as adults when I'm doing my speaking and training is this. A man was passing elephants. He suddenly stopped, confused by the fact that these huge creatures were being held by only a small rope tied to their front legs. No chains, no cages. It was obvious that the elephants could, at any time, break away from their bonds, but for some reason, they did not. He saw the trainer nearby and asked why these animals just stood there and made no attempt to get away. Well, the trainer said, when they were very young and much smaller, we used the same size rope to tie them, and at that age, it's enough to hold them. As they grow up, they are conditioned. Listen to this now. As they grow up, they are conditioned to believe they cannot break away. They believe the rope can still hold them, so they never try to break free. The man, just like I am, and you are, was amazed. These animals could at any time break free from their bonds, but because they believed they couldn't, they were stuck right where they were. Like the elephants, how many of us go through life hanging on to a belief that we cannot do something simply because we have failed at it once before? Failure is part of learning. We should never give up the struggle in life. Believe and keep trying is the moral of that story. Listen to that, what he said again. They believed the rope could still hold them, so they never, ever tried to break free because they were conditioned to do so. What is that for us? I mean, you heard me on my introduction, right? I went to Rocky Mountain College, failed. Went to San Bernardino. I went to Mount Sac. Didn't play much, failed. So I kept thinking that I have to change my location, therefore increasing my opportunities and my probability to succeed and experience the life that I want. Then I went to San Bernardino Valley College. Oh, mediocre at best academically, and I didn't even start there because I failed to do what was necessary and tried and got out of my comfort zone and pushed myself to be the best that I could be. So I know what this is, to fail, and because of the experience in the past, go, man, I mean, I'm never going to graduate. So then at the age of 23, going back to UC Davis as a sophomore, went back and took college classes, junior college classes at Mount Sac, and kept going anyway. Despite that I failed and I could not succeed in the past, I didn't let that rope, man, I didn't let that rope tie me from trying again, believing again, because that's the hard part. Because before you try again, if you don't believe that you should even try, you'll never do it. No, tell yourself, I believe in me. What I believe will be. Respect all and fear nothing. I will not be bullied and the bully will not be me. I believe in me and what I believe will be. And try again. We'll be right back after this brief break. Talking Struggle. You're listening to the Coach V Show on Island Block Radio, the pulse of the Pacific, where paradise lives. Welcome back to the Coach V Show on Island Block Radio. We just finished discussing self-belief and this question, why not you? That's right. Why not? Why not you? Why not me? Why not we? You can become, do, and achieve whatever it is you wish to in this life when you believe and put forth the actions. But first, you, me, and we must believe and know that we are worthy of this thing called success and achievement and joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love. And now on the show, on this segment, we will be talking about this aspect of struggle. What I describe and is one of my life lessons in my book, Life Champion, Life Lessons That Yield Championship Results, is this aspect called life struggle. Here's a quote for you that reads, "Success breeds success, but failure, setbacks, disappointments, mistakes, embarrassment, loss, and being burned in relationships is the faculty of life that can teach us like no success can." Let's take out some of all of the verbiage and some of the words on there and just say add life struggle, right? Where success breeds success. Let me start again. Success breeds success. But life struggle is the faculty of life that can teach us like no success can. Now grab a pen or write this quote down on your notes app on your phone. This is a crowd favorite and is one of my favorites because I really believe that all the stuff that I have gone through in life and all of the adversity, the setbacks, so many of them, the life struggle it is that I've had were self-inflicted, but all of them have taught me some valuable life lessons, valuable. Because success does breed success. But going through this stuff teaches us, oh, we shouldn't do that again. That will not be good. I did not enjoy that experience. Therefore, I am going to apply the life lesson of steering clear from whatever it is that was the consequence of making such wrong decisions. But other than that, I mean, what happens in life happens to us all. Whether it's the fires that happen in California and throughout the West, or the hurricanes that come through the South, or Tornado Alley, or the tsunamis that happen in the islands of the Pacific. I mean, these things are going to keep coming. That's the cycle of life. And even though times do change, but a lot of things remain the same. When you look back in the history of man, all of these things just continue to pop up. There's a recession, Great Depression, Great Recession, Great Depression, and then prosperity. And the markets continually turn because they just go in cycles, just like the days of the week, the business quarters, and the seasons. I mean, how many times do you think spring is going to happen after winter? Every time. And then comes summer, and then comes fall, and then comes winter. I mean, these are the cycles of this thing called life. So one thing we must understand is how to handle and deal with adversity. Which now, write this down. This is one of my all-time crowd favorite quotes. Life is struggle. Struggle is life. Misery is optional. Write that down. I'm going to say it again. Write it down. Put it in your notes. Life is struggle. Struggle is life. Misery is optional. So let's go through what I call a struggle roll call, where life is struggle, struggle is life, misery is optional. Because make no mistake, struggle isn't just something that occurs during the negativities or the failures or the setbacks or the embarrassments or when people stab us right in the back, right in front of our face sometimes, right? These things happen to us all the time. There is no success without struggle, grinding, working, putting in the hours. There is no shortcuts. And if you have been fortunate enough to gain a level of success or achievement that you did not earn and you did not have to go through the struggle, so you understand and are well equipped through the life struggle of learning those lessons, how to now endure and be there consistently, you won't stay there very long, because everything in this life must be earned. And one of the payments for success is life struggle, grinding, putting in the time. See, patience is waiting and seeing, but I'm more into persevering, where you work and see. There's just no wait and do nothing. It's a work and see policy for this thing called success and achievement. And even the things that are most important to me, the joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love, oh man, you got to persevere for that. And as we go through this thing that I call a struggle roll call, each and every day is a struggle, as we just discussed and alluding to. Successes are full of struggle. Whether you're on a sports team and every time you win in a playoff game, you just advance, but that advance brings on a greater challenge. Another obstacle, another team that you must now compete against and win if you can. But most of the time, our greatest competition in our struggle is us against ourselves. That's why definitely misery is optional, because it is our choice in terms of our response behavior, how it is that we react and respond to those negatives that happen to us. So let's go over this struggle roll call. How about getting out of bed in the morning? Especially during some of these times right now where the Midwest and back east, it's like the Arctic blast. Getting out of bed when it's that cold. It's hard getting out of bed when the weather's good. The only time a lot of people want to jump out of bed is when they're on vacation, when there's something to live and get up for. But it's tough just getting out of bed some days, especially when you're carrying some drama and some luggage around. Real talk. And then what about not sleeping because of worrying, tossing and turning all through the night, held captive by being concerned about what happened in your past or what just happened. Somebody left you, not knowing or having the unknown for how you're going to pay your bills, or some of these negatives that just hang over us, where we go to sleep, but we toss and turn and we get no rest. That's called life struggle. Attending school, going back to school, trying to get the right education, the right knowledge. That's some tough things, because you must put in some time, effort, and energy. So that's why everything in life is full of life struggle, because of the fact that nothing comes for free. We must earn it. Even when you pay these hefty academic tuition fees to go in and learn, you still got to do the process. You still have to go through it. You still must persevere. You still must invest the time and learn and put and bury your head in the books and continue to study each and every day. And should you succeed in a term test or midterm exams, there's always another one just around the corner. Not just in the classroom, but in life. Relationships full of struggle. Family full of struggle. Because the only normal family is a dysfunctional family. So we all know when we say life struggle or struggle, and we talk about family, siblings, cousins, aunties, mom, dad relationships, and mom and kids relationships, and relationships amongst each other. I mean, it is just tough. Partly because we're pretty selfish. Until we reach the level of enlightenment where we understand that we must figure ourselves out. But once it is that we figure ourselves out, how can we help other people do the same? And that it's not, this whole thing called life is not always just about us. But we make and have a mental approach and direction most of the time that What's in this for me? Which I get. But is it always appropriate? We're talking life struggle. Single parent? What about dual parents? What about being married? Life struggle. What about being single? It's all fun and games until you're lonely all by yourself. What about being married? You single folks, you think you got some struggle? On the other side of the vow, sickness and health. Richer for poor, until death do us part. On the other side of that vow, there's a whole lot of life struggle. Not because I say so, but life says so. Relationships and marriages are just full of it. Life is just full of those struggles. And then what about death and loss of family? Man, that is tough. Probably the toughest, where you can never get rid of it and you carry it everywhere you go. And then what about having a baby for the first time, or having kids for the first time? What a dream come true, and then the joy that is just met with a whole bunch of life struggle of not really knowing, the baby room and getting the crib and all that you're just trying to survive each and every day on your first child, let alone 2, 3, 4. See some of these Polynesian families. I grew up in one of these Polynesian families. Man, I only got 2 kids. I don't know how my mom was able to survive every single day with as many kids as it is that was in our family. Are you kidding me? Life is struggle. Struggle is life. And misery is optional. One thing that we must do with this aspect called life struggle is not self-inflict life struggle into our life by making the wrong decisions and then having a negative consequence to deal with because of that. Life is already hard enough as it is and will bring its own life struggle on its own. Do not self-inflict and create life struggle into your life with drama, being around the wrong people, and making the choices it is that you should not be making that is lacking any type of integrity or character. And this is another quote that I need you to write down, or I would consider that you write down on your phone, in your notepad, that, quote, good times don't last always. Fortunately, neither does the struggle. These struggles have come not to stay, but to pass, just like the storms that come in life. And we don't like the storms, and we don't like to deal with rainy days, but without no water, that's called a drought. Nothing grows without water. Nothing grows without struggle. There is no growth that happens in the times of our convenience and our comfort zone. They all happen in the uncomfort zone and the struggle. And the struggle should make you more resilient and confident because you've overcome that. And now you understand when anything else comes along, you know what? I can handle this. And here's a short story. So there was a daughter that complained to her dad that her life was miserable and she didn't know how she was going to make it. She was tired of fighting and struggling all the time. Sound familiar? It seemed just as one problem was solved, another one soon followed. Her father, a chef, took her to the kitchen. He filled 3 pots with water and placed each on a high fire. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second, and ground coffee beans in the third pot. He then let them sit and boil without saying a word to his daughter. The daughter moaned and impatiently waited, wondering what he was doing. After 20 minutes, he turned off the burners. He took the potatoes out of the pot and placed them in a bowl. He pulled the boiled eggs out and placed them in a bowl. He then ladled the coffee out and placed it in the cup. Turning to her, he asked, "Daughter, what do you see?" Her being frustrated. And she seemed like a know-it-all, saying, "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee." "Look closer," he said, and touched the potatoes. She did and noted that they were soft. He then asked her to take an egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. "Father, what does this mean?" she asked. He then explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and the coffee beans had each faced their same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potato, and strong and hard and unrelenting, this potato went into the water. Strong, hard, and unrelenting, but in boiling water it became soft and weak. The egg was fragile, with the thin outer shell protecting its liquid interior until it was put in the boiling water. Then the inside of the egg became hard. However, the ground coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to the boiling water, they changed the water and created something new. The father turned and looked towards his daughter, which he loved his daughter now. Which are you, he asked. When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean? And this is the moral of this story. In life, as I said, life happens to all of us the same. But the only thing that truly matters is what happens within us, and how we harness that to achieve and succeed and experience the joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love we want in life. Which one are you? 9 words, 3 sentences, 1 life approach. Life is struggle. Struggle is life. Misery is optional. We'll be right back after this brief break, talking relationships. You're listening to the Coach V Show on Island Block Radio, the pulse of the Pacific, where paradise lives. Welcome back to the Coach V Show on Island Block Radio. We just finished in the last segment talking about life struggle, going through struggle, adversity, and the transformation it can make in each and every one of us, and how we handle it within, and then now have the appropriate response behavior that we can move forward in spite of and despite the negativity, the negative circumstances, the adversity, the pain, and all else that this life would dish out against us. And now we're talking relationships. First, it must be noted, relationships, your network, family, and friendships are all vital and helpful. But the only one who can achieve your success is you. No one is going to do your success for you, and no one is going to achieve what you need to do for you, me, and we. For we must do it for ourselves. And then the aspect of relationships. Here on the Coach V Show, let's talk about the V formation. For V formation is symmetric. V. Shaped flight formation of the flights of geese, duck, and other migratory birds. V formation improves the fuel efficiency of even aircraft that are used on military flight missions. The people in our lives constitutes this formation. And this is how I see relationships and networks and family. Because we are who we roll with, assimilate to whom we associate, and become who we are around. The value of this formation allows the group to go farther, more efficiently, meaning use less energy, or in our case, less resources. Those people that are not adding value to your life, to my life, to our life, they can't roll or fly with you. Because the opposite will now occur. You don't go as far. They drag you down, waste time and money, and are a detriment to our dreams, hopes, and aspirations being realized. So what do? We definitely need to build a strong network of relationships, family and friends. Regardless of how dysfunctional our family is, there is still an innate need, and I believe a need according to our purpose and our calling, that holds family bonds together in spite of the drama and all of the dysfunctionalness that comes with family. But everybody else, you must cut them out. Along with anything else that causes negative impact on your life, self-doubt, vices, habits, practices, etc. It's addition by subtraction, which is in need in our relationships and every part of our lives, financially, professionally, etc., which allows us to focus. When we cut these things out of our life, we are now able to focus our energies appropriately, not being distracted by anything that is not important. We must cut them out. A V formation that allows us to do more, be more, become more, because they are in our life, no question. Success is ours and ours alone to achieve. Mom can't help us, dad can't help us. Our best friends, regardless of their greatest intention and love and fondness of us, cannot do anything for us. We must do it for ourselves. The same we must understand for our children. But in saying that, now we are who we roll with, assimilate to whom we associate, and we become who it is that we hang around. My V formation, my wife and my kids are in my V formation. I'm definitely in my kids' V formation. I need to help them get to where they're going most efficiently and not dying before they're able to achieve what it is that they're called to this earth to achieve, and helping them learn how to effectively take care of themselves, manage the situations in their own relationships, and live a life of excellence each and every day. My parents and my brothers and sisters, they're part of my V formation. They bring so much and add so much value to my life, especially my parents now. My brothers and sisters, they're amazing, and I help them where they can, and when we get together, it is a blast. But they are definitely in my V formation, and I love and care for them very dearly. My Invictus family, there is no way that this Tongan brother, despite the fact that I will do anything, work as many hours that I need to work, promote what it is that we do for kids and the communities it is that our outreach is all over the 916, also down in the San Diego area. But there is no way that I could do as much as I've done. We just held a basketball camp through Invictus Youth Foundation, free. Over 100 plus kids every single day. All volunteer staff, all volunteer coaches. We all raised money together to be able to put on a free camp for kids. Together, we can really achieve more than we can by ourselves. My Coach V team, I can't do it by myself. I had to hire some folks, some professionals that have a skill set and expertise that is better than myself, helping me and my company's reach go farther than it could have by itself, more efficiently, more effectively. I am not making every email, trying to do every graphic design, record, dub, and then also edit every single piece of photo and or film and or audio. I have professionals that help me, that now bring the value together that what we do, that we can do more together than we can by ourselves. My network of amazing community professionals all around that I can call on, and I can either connect people that need their help, or I can connect them with the people it is that they need to connect to, and they can connect me in the ways that I need to help me fulfill who it is that I am called to be on this planet, and also professionally get me the insight and expertise that I need should I call and have them do it. the Pache Enterprise and Feast Enterprise Ownership Group that owns over 260 restaurants. Now, hey, look, I bring some value to them. I think they feel that, and I feel that too. But they were already a championship organization when they hired me on to do their bi-quarterly meetings. Twice a year, I visit with their various markets throughout the country, and they are amazing. They have brought huge value, not only economically, but the insights of how I see business working and hiring and developing who it is that I am as a success coach, that I can also take what it is that I learned from the sessions it is that I'm supposed to be teaching them, that they give me such valuable insight, whether it's just having coffee with the owners of Bechet Enterprises and Feast, or just hanging out and just talking about life, how to get better. I mean, V formation. Who is that for you? Because I'm so fortunate to have so many around me that add value and expedite my goals to coming into fruition faster than it should have. I mean, my organization right now, we're very small with Invictus Youth Foundation, but our impact is large. And there's no way that without community organizations here in town, OCA, Asian Resources, Capital, the Sheriff Activities League, and I can go on and on and on, the Rotaries here in town, the different companies, PG&E, AT&T, Golden One. There is no way that I could come up with that kind of cheddar unless they hopped on and helped my V formation impact kids more than I could have alone. Who is that? Now the Island Block family is in the V formation. I'm in their formation. That they have now elevated the Coach V platform and what it is that the services it is that I provide, and plug people into my passion of helping them become the very best that they can be. Wow. The impact is going to be huge. Because of these people in my life, I am able to do more and more effectively and efficiently. And that's how strong a network and V formation that you, me, and we need to build. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be right around you and they're just going to be amazing. No, some of these people we have to train, let them know what the boundaries are, help them to make better than they were when you first met them. And first off, they might be needing from you than you even need them. But that's how life goes, and you grow together, develop together, and get better together.
Right, left, right. No matter if you're black and no matter if you're white. Left, right. Check it.
That's a wrap from my first show, and here is the final word. Grateful. Defined as a feeling or showing an appreciation for kindness and unmerited favor. That's what I feel as I sign off on my first show. For what is life without the things that not only add to the length of our life, but to the width of it as well? Adding to the joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and love of life. And to that, a grateful and humble thank you to my brother Q and brother Joe Sav and the entire Island Block family for this amazing opportunity to host and allowing me to live out my gift, passion, purpose, and calling. To my Coach V team, Javon McGilbra, brother Teddy Lebesieri, Marco Alfaro, Kyle Wills, and Jake Shelley. Thank you. To my Invictus Youth Foundation family. Thank you so much. My amazing wife and my kiddos, Susan Mellon Jr. Thank you. To my awesome family, my mom and dad, Mela and Viliami Tuivai, I love you and thank you. And to my family and friends all over the world and in all places of these United States of America, thank you and I love you all. To everyone listening, I wish you all good health, success, and that you're surrounded by amazing relationships. Thank you for tuning in to the first ever Coach V Show. It is of great importance for each of us to better ourselves, not only just to gain advantage to obtaining success, but for the sake of being our best. In doing so, we realize the best of our abilities and that everything and anything we believe and work for can be achieved. Tune in every Motivation Monday, 7 p.m. to the Coach V Show, where iron sharpens iron. Together we rise. Powered by Dash on Island Block Radio, the pulse of the Pacific, where paradise lives.
You're tuned in to Island Block Radio.